Let's look how Space Marines in the 10th edition works and which special rules they get. First, they get one special rule, the Oath of Moments. Um, this means they can choose one enemy unit and in every turn in their command phase, and then can reroll hits to reroll hits and reroll wounds, so they make it easy to destroy this very dangerous target, for example, a big tank or a big monster or something like that. Every Space Marine faction can have this. And then there are detachment rules in every faction. The Space Marines, for example, in the Gladius Task Force, they can choose a combat doctrine, but it's another thing, or different from the, for example, from the Imperial Guard doctrines. They can, in one command phase, they can select one special ability. It's like a little bit like a stratagem for the whole army. For example, if you choose this, all units can advance and then shoot. In my opinion, this is probably the most useful. If you choose this, they can fall back and shoot and charge. Yes, could be useful, but if much of your units in close combat with the enemy, you are trouble anyway. So you would probably use this very late. This could use in the first or the second turn. A little bit similar is this. They can advance and charge. This could be useful if your army is more close combat than and this is if they more a little more shooting. This, but the second one I don't know when this would be useful, because you probably will use this very early, the first, second, third round, depending how close you come to the enemy, or you will use this if you come close enough to charge them, and then if you go close combat, and this not really. If every unit in close combat, you are in trouble anyway. Yes, the units. Every vehicle become more toughness, so every vehicle are harder to kill, but there are special anti-vehicle weapons in the 10th edition, so we'll see how tough they are really, and how tough they are really if the enemy have enough anti-vehicle weapons. Interesting, they have a assault ramp, so they can disembark and charge from this vehicle. Normally they can only move and disembark. This is new in the 10th edition. The 9th, the vehicle move, and next turn the troops can disembark. It's a little bit strange, but it is so. Yes, this will change. Then we see the data sheet for Hubuti Gilliman. He's the only Primarch I like, and I listen to the Horus Heresy series at the moment, and he's the only Primarch who really see he's superior to the Natas, in my opinion. Or he is superior to normal humans, or even to spacemen. So he's really a strategic thinking guy. That's the reason I like him more than the other Primarchs. Of course, the Oath of Moments, but that's something I really like, the new Pro-free data sheets. Yes, back. Because at the moment you must, for example, you have the melee weapon, and then strength user, you must watch. It's easy in this case, but then you must go back to the user's look. Or double user, and then you see how many attacks, how strengths, it's a thing I really like. It makes it very, very easy. Then some weapons, for example, this heavy gun with devastating wounds, and dreadnought, or this this heavy laser gun. 2 attacks, not very much. The attacks are very good to see. At the moment, there's just heavy. Then in a small number, how much attacks you get. First I asked, where is the number for attacks? You don't see this by the weapons, but now it's clear for every weapon, so that's something I really like. And vehicles, the tracks, of course, vehicles can charge and vehicles can fight in close combat at the moment, but that's not really, we don't really see this in the weapons profile. We talk about at last Saturday about what will change. Oh, vehicles can now charge and vehicles can now use their tracks as weapons. So, yes, they can do it now, but you don't see it, so that's very good. And something is, even if this vehicle is damaged, they lose much less ability. For example, Lehman Russ tanks lose, I think, if they have 8 wounds less, this vehicle only loses on 5, so it's make them much more tougher. He can take much more damage and still work properly. That's one of the stratagems. Mm, okay, also wenn die when the unit is chosen as target, and this is auch where you see what when you can use this, what for what unit you can use it, and what is the effect. It is much more easy to read, in my opinion. As also in short form, units that are killed in close combat can fight back. Yes, a little bit like the Vengeful Salute by the Imperial Guard. That was the Space Marines. Next time we will talk about Tyranids tomorrow, and on Saturday about the Chaos Space Marines.